I am prepared for the pitchforks to come out. I am prepared to deal with the absolute insanity that will ensue from what I'm about to say. Rise of the Silver Surfer is better than Fantastic Four 2005. I know. I know. I, I know. Listen, put your pitchforks down. Relax. Calm down, okay? Listen. Listen. There are, in terms of filmmaking, this is a worse movie. But, in terms of enjoyment, I get more out of it, okay? And so, when I personally rank movies like these, I rank them more on what I get out of them in terms of enjoyment, because I already know I'm not gonna get a Citizen Kane or like a Watchmen or like a Godfather type script. I already know that I'm not gonna be getting that. So here's the thing when it comes to Rise of the Silver Surfer. First of all, he's fucking rad in this movie. I mean, which, yes, I meant that kind of as a pun because his name is Norman Rad, right? Like, y'all, listen. This movie is gangster, okay? I saw this in theaters. My mom took me to see this for my kindergarten graduation present. Because I had a hard time getting through kindergarten, and my mom felt bad, and so she took me to go and see this movie. I went with my aunt, and my uncle, and Liam was like really small. I don't know if he even remembers seeing it, but I remember I had a blast watching this movie in theaters. I thought it was the coolest shit ever when I was like 6, okay? So, here's the thing, right? There's also there's a couple of there's a couple of plots that are side by side with each other, but they're better in this movie than they were in the 2005 movie. And what I mean is that here there's the overarching thread of Galactus, but also Sue and Reed are gonna get married because they got engaged at the end of the last movie. They've tried to get married a few times and it hasn't worked out, right? Then there's, Ben and Johnny wondering about their place in the Fantastic Four once Sue and Reed get married, right? So there's a few conflicts within this movie, right? That, to me, make more sense than the ones in the first movie. Then they add in the conflict of the internal struggle within the Silver Surfer, which we'll get to in a little bit here. Here's the thing, right? So, Doctor Doom is still fucking stupid, okay? He's not Doctor Doom. He wears the costume, I guess, but he's not Doctor Doom in any of these movies. Does he even call himself Doctor Doom? I don't even think so. He doesn't call himself Doctor Doom. And no matter who the writer is, they never seem to understand the point of the character. Because, like, here's the thing. I don't really care that much about spoilers because this movie's damn near 20 years old now. Victor, Galactus is about to eat the fucking planet. Generally, he would side with the Fantastic Four in times of crisis because he wants to have a planet to rule afterward. It's not for any moral reasons. He just wants to have a planet to rule afterward. But he decides that he wants to be a fucking goober, and his whole goal is to get the board of the Silver Surfer. Because if he can get the board of the Silver Surfer, then he wants to fly around and do shit? He never really explains what his motivation is. He just wants to be evil. That's literally his whole goal, without any of the nuances or any of the interesting things that make Victor Von Doom one of the most fascinating characters in fiction. And I mean that genuinely. I was when I was a kid, I thought that Doctor Doom fucking sucked. I thought he was terrible. I thought he was an awful character. But then I really got deep into comics, and Doctor Doom is cool as hell. He is so cool. And so it makes me upset going back to these movies. Three out of four of them have Doom. I'm not counting the end of First Steps, but we will get to that. But point is that Doctor Doom, like, this is my biggest gripe with this movie, is that Doctor Doom sucks. Okay. Now, RIP to the actor. I'm not blaming him. He's doing a good job for what he's given when it comes to Doctor Doom, right? But it just pisses me off because Doctor Doom is such a cool character. Like, how embarrassing is it that you were shown up by Sony, okay? You were shown up by Sony, who could not, or who didn't have Spider-Man in any of their Venom movies, but yet they somehow were able to pull off a successful trilogy with Tom Hardy as Venom, okay? And yes, I might be biased because I love Venom, right? But still, I'm gonna flex a little bit because the Venom movies, I don't care what y'all say, all three of them rock, okay? But I digress. Maybe I'll do a retrospective on those at some point. But here's the thing. Rise of the Silver Surfer, my biggest gripe is the fact that Doctor Doom is just here to, he's literally just here to be evil, right? But he is not the one that gets the biggest character assassination in this movie. Why did they make Galactus a fart cloud? Seriously. Galactus is supposed to be this, like, universe-ending galactic threat, right? And he's not imposing in this movie. He's just a cloud that eats planets. We don't actually get to see Galactus in this movie. There's some people that say, oh, well, you can see his head in his cloud. Okay, but I want to see him. I want to actually see him. So Galactus is screwed in this movie very heavily. However, what I will say is this. I've done a lot of complaining so far in this video, but there is actually some, like, really cool shit too. Like, I love the scenes where, like, it's the Silver Surfer just, like, you know, doing his thing, because Silver Surfer is just badass in anything that he or she's in. Like, just the concept of the character of Silver Surfer is really, really cool, right? The scene where Johnny's chasing him is mwah, chef's kiss, right? And his heart-to-hearts with Sue, they give Sue a new character to have a dynamic with. And I actually genuinely enjoy those scenes where we get to see Sue see Silver Surfer in a different way than everybody else sees him, right? And it's because of her that he decides to help save the world at the end of the movie. And so that's kind of the thing, is that Silver Surfer's cool in this movie, right? But how about the actual team themselves? Well, their dynamics are still there, but like I said, like, the Fantastic Four in this movie are just used as a vehicle to get to the cool stuff that doesn't really necessarily involve them. The one cool thing is that their powers are hijacked, so if they touch each other, then they get the other person's powers. There's a scene where Ben goes back to being a human and Johnny becomes Rock, and Ben throws a fireball at Johnny. I always find that to be funny. Also, I will say the humor in this movie is a lot better than, you know, in the first movie. for sure. It's infinitely better. This movie actually gets some laughs out of Liam and I whenever we watch it. Like, actually genuinely, like, I'm talking like ball busting laughing type of laughing. Whereas in the first movie, there's like a few passing chuckles, maybe one like out loud laugh, right? Well, like this movie's actually funny. But I think while the action is still whack, the ending fight is actually kind of cool. Like, and it had been building to this the whole, actually throughout the whole series, where like the characters were always shitting on Johnny, saying that he's kind of the asshole and that he doesn't really deserve to be there. And what I like about this movie, especially the ending fight, someone's got to fight Doom while, you know, the rest of them focus on trying to save the world, right? And so, out of all the characters, it's Johnny, and I honestly think it's rad. Like, I actually really like the fact that it's, you know, Johnny with, you know, the help of Ben, of course. But I think that that's really, really good for Johnny's character. And those scenes of him fighting Doom at the end of the movie are actually really cool. And that fits for Johnny Storm's character. I actually really enjoy that. So, I gotta say, y'all, this might be crazy. Silver Surfer's a 7, y'all. I actually enjoy it. Like I said, for my scale, I'm not ranking this super seriously because I already know what I'm getting. So my enjoyment factor is what matters the most in this scenario. So therefore, it's a 7. And if you like what you see here and you want to help me to keep the lights on, my Patreon is literally $1 a month. It'll be down in the description. Make sure to like and subscribe. I will see you all for part 3. Fan Four Stick. Fucking